talented Denver Nuggets, and the Blazers were able to gut out the 109-107 victory. This is the fifth quarter. If you want to join the conversation with us, 503-248-0620 is your telephone number. And, of course, you can go to youtube.com, type in Rip City Radio, and join the chat there as well. A wild, wild game for the Trailblazers. They needed to be firing on all cylinders tonight, and you know what? They absolutely were. Defensively, they were locked in. That's what you want to see. And then offensively, they were able to get some shots down the stretch that they needed. Big threes from Drew Holiday and co. It was absolutely phenomenal. But then it all came down to the free throw line, and this is how it sounded.
Jeremy Grant at the line, trying to give the Blazers the lead with 1.4 seconds remaining. Tied at 107. The first free throw is good. Blazers lead. 108-107. Again, the Nuggets cannot advance the ball with a timeout. They are out. Grant will get one more free throw here. Missed it. No, he put it in. He tried to miss it. It hit off the backboard and rattled in with 1.4 to play. Here's the long inbound pass. Jokic has it, turns, puts it up. It bounces up and out. It's a Rip City winner. The Blazers take down the Denver Nuggets 109-107.
Yeah, that was pretty nice. It was funny because Jeremy Grant shot. Obviously, he was trying to make it, and he misses it, and you could just see the look from where we were there at Media Row. You could just see him turn around and just be like, that sucks. Like, he obviously did not mean to make that shot, which was pretty funny to see. But, again, defensively, I thought they were locked in. The whole last possession, really, I'm looking at my notes. It was pretty phenomenal. You get down to the end there, and they got the inbound pass. Jeremy Grant knocks it out. They get it back in. Get it to Nikola Jokic. They get a jump ball on the jump ball. Aaron Gordon gets the ball, and he does get, quite honestly, a good-looking shot at that point in time. But Shaedon Sharpe comes in, boom, gets the block, and the rest is history. Just a phenomenal performance from the Portland Trailblazers. And so, yeah, I liked everything I saw in the first quarter. It was DC get the start, and then about 7.5 minutes, Robert Williams came in. That was a pretty good advantage. But you look at the way the box score is playing out, and Denver comes in as the highest scoring offense and one of the best when it comes to field goal percentage, and that was bearing out for the entire first quarter. They outscored the Blazers 26-18, and when the Blazers scored just 18 in the quarter, you're like, okay, this is going to be tough. But then they outscored the Nuggets 35-31 in the second. Okay, the offense is here, but then the third quarter comes, and it's just like the first. They're outscored 24-18, and then once again in the fourth quarter, the adjustments were made, and they outscored the Nuggets 38-26. I thought some big things down the stretch. They needed defensive stops. Thiago Splitter went with Chris Murray for a little bit longer than usual before bringing Shaedon Sharpe back in, making some good coaching decisions to make sure everything was locked in and ready to go. File this one under you love to see it. You absolutely love to see it. That's all I can say about that. All right, if you want to join the conversation, 503-248-0620 is the telephone number. Well, we're going to head out right now to Bryce, who has been so eager to talk to us that he's been calling before the show even started. He waited online patiently. Bryce, welcome in to the fifth quarter.
Hey, how's it going?
It's going well, man. How are you tonight after that win?
Oh, it's my first Blazer win of the season, second Blazer game I've seen, and it was beautiful. I threw out actually my wallet with all my credit, debit cards, everything. I threw it out in explanation when we turned the win, and then I went down to guest services, and they said, "Sir, are you the one that hit our cameraman with that placard wallet, exclaiming that the Blazers won again?" It was beautiful, but I mean, Nikola Jokic, he picked our pockets. You can see where if it came down to like a series or a contested you could see where if it was like this is the NBA in-game tournament, you could see where it could get kind of nasty. But I loved it. I loved every minute. I loved getting my wallet back. I was like the Blazers won, and myself, I was like, I'm in a dark place. I haven't misplaced my ID since I was 16. That's how this win felt. And I'm every bit of a scrappy Blazer team. Like the Chauncey Billups situation, I don't even want to talk about it. I want to talk about Tamani Kamara stepping up and living into the contract that we signed him for and just loving every minute of it.
Well, you know what, Bryce, is you say you don't want to talk about the Chauncey stuff, and I totally understand. And that's also kind of a thing that, obviously the entire world's kind of talking about. But isn't it nice that right now you are seeing the team play so well and that the whole Chauncey stuff is an afterthought? Like, no, you're not even thinking about what's going on.
I just don't think I'm not allowed to talk about the Chauncey stuff because I love to see the Blazers do well. I'm not allowed to bet on it. That's the whole Chauncey thing. Like, don't bet on it, but like, I would put a $20 bill on these Blazers. Like any given day of the week with the defensive boards that they're getting. Like yeah, we got our pockets picked by Jokic, but what is that? 2023 NBA Finals MVP? Like, sure, like, yeah, he picked our pockets, but we won the game. And that's like where this team rebuild that progression is. I love to see it.
Yeah, we're talking about a guy who's not a slouch, Bryce, and thank you for the call, as always. And you know what? You want to talk about Tamani Kamara. Let's talk about Tamani Kamara, man. The box, right? The box when he plays good defense. He gets in there, gets that jump ball on Nikola Jokic. There's been people who have been down on him early, like, oh, where's the defense? It's not where it was last year. Man, all in all, I think he's been incredible. And tonight, put it together, and he did and made the shots you needed him to make down the stretch. This entire team, really, the entire team did exactly what they needed to do tonight. It was just good all-around basketball in a game that, quite honestly, when the Nuggets come to town, you're like, oh, here we go. Nikola Jokic is going to get his, and we're going to struggle. He still got his. He got his 21, his 14 rebounds, his 9 assists. But you were able to take care of business. Let's look at that box score real quick, by the way. Aaron Gordon, 14 points, 5 rebounds for the Nuggets. Cam Johnson, 9 points and 6 rebounds. You heard Nikola Jokic's near triple-double, 21, 14, and 9. 22 points, 6 rebounds for Jamal Murray. 10 points from Peyton Watson, Jonas Valanciunas, and 11 from Tim Hardaway. On the Blazers side of things, Denny Avdija, I thought, came up huge throughout this game. 23 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists, 4 turnovers. And, like, some of the turnovers are just because he's turbo, man. He turns the ball over, going to the rim, doesn't get a foul call. It's a TO. I think I can live with that. I like the hustle. Still need him to be a little more, careful with the ball. But 23 points, they were all needed. And then Tamani Kamara, like we talked about, 14 points, 3 assists, 2 rebounds, 2 blocks, 2 steals. Donovan Clingan, 5 points, 15 boards, so he came up huge on that end. Drew Holiday, 11 points, 13 assists, so a phenomenal game from Drew. And then Shaedon Sharpe had 19 points to round out the starters off the bench. Jeremy Grant had 16, but none bigger than this one.
Jeremy Grant at the line, trying to give the Blazers the lead with 1.4 seconds remaining. Tied at 107. The first free throw is good.
Yeah, that was the biggest shot of the night from him. And then Chris Murray had 10 as well. But, of course, I think if you look at the box score and you really want to pick apart the numbers, nothing stands out more than the 4-point, 4-rebound, 1 assist, 1 block shot performance from Robert Williams III. It was so nice to have the Blazers big man back. He did make his debut tonight and played wonderfully in just 11 minutes of action. All right, this is the fifth quarter. I'm your host, Chris Burkhardt. If you want to join the conversation, 503-248-0620 is your telephone number. And, of course, you can go to youtube.com, type in Rip City Radio, and join the chat over there. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to go to our drive of the night. We still got shot of the night, Coach's Corner, all that fun stuff here on the fifth quarter on your home of the Blazers, Rip City Radio 620.
Portland, get ready for a homecoming like no one.
it's just so effortless. He just kind of floats. Like, you don't expect this dunk out of him when he drives baseline. All of a sudden, boom, there it is, and gets the little pull up there. It was pretty nice, and I got a lot of text messages during that game. People just loving what they see from Chris Murray, and it is pretty cool. I love that he goes in there, and he just makes the most of his minutes. He doesn't tend to make a lot of mistakes, plays smart basketball. And that, you can't fault him at all. That, you definitely got to tip your hat to him when he goes in there and takes care of business. Again, in this one, he had 10 points. He played 29 minutes, 4 of 8 shooting, and came up big. I did laugh, though, because I did text a buddy of mine and said, I'm pretty sure that all 5'8" of me, gets more vert on my jump shot than Chris Murray does, because he does not leave his feet when he takes that three-pointer. But, man, he makes them, and he had a couple big ones today. And, again, Blazers grab a 109-107 victory over the Denver Nuggets. And the last few seconds got a little squirrely. Jeremy Grant gets a chance to hit a game winner. He gets fouled by Aaron Gordon. He gets 2 shots at the line. He hits the first one, which is exactly what you want him to do. And then, of course, the next situation is always, does he miss it? Or does he make it? He tried to miss it because Denver had no timeouts, but it went in anyway. Like, you couldn't make it up. It went in anyway. And he just looks over at his teammates, and you can see it up in media row, and he just kind of rolls his eyes like, really? Really? It was kind of funny, if we're being completely honest. And, it made me laugh. It definitely made me laugh. But the inbounds pass comes. Good defense on Nikola Jokic. He misses what would have been the game-tying shot from about 8 feet out. And the Blazers grab a massive victory tonight over the Denver Nuggets. Not only is it a big win over the Denver Nuggets, it is a win in Emirates NBA Cup play. This was first game of the group stages. Big for Portland. And right now, have some fun. Enjoy it. Look at the standings. But your Portland Trailblazers are 4th in the West right now at 4-2. That's a great start to the season. We know things can change and all that jazz, but that is a great thing to see right now. Now, I said they're 4th in the West, and there's a lot going on, NBA Cup action around the league. So let's take a look at what went down around the league. First off, the Atlanta Hawks grab a 128-108 victory over the Pacers. The Boston Celtics squeak one out, 109-108 over the 76ers. Jaylen Brown had 32 and 6. Tyrese Maxey had 26, 8, and 14 for the 76ers. Toronto, that city got a win tonight, not the one they wanted, as they lost to the Dodgers in Game 6 of the World Series. But they did grab a 112-101 victory over the Cavaliers. Brandon Ingram leading the way with 20 points and 8 boards. The Bulls take down the Knicks 135-125. Josh Giddey had 32, 10 rebounds, and 9 assists. The Lakers beat the Grizzlies 117-112. Luka Doncic, who is back, he was probably going to be out about a week is what they said. He came back pretty quickly, and he's on a tear right now. 44 points, 12 rebounds, 6 assists in that victory for Los Angeles. In Phoenix, the Suns beat the Jazz 118-96. Devin Booker had 36 points, 9 assists. And down in Los Angeles, the Clippers beat the Pelicans 126-124. Kawhi Leonard, 34 points and 6 steals. I saw that 6, and you're usually thinking rebounds or assists. Now, that was steals, so good on him. And then, of course, your Trailblazers 109-107 over the Denver Nuggets. So, yeah, things are a little bit crazy right now. It is the early season. The Chicago Bulls, who I looked at the schedule all year long going, oh, it's going to be a little bit of an easy win. The Bulls are the Bulls. They're 5-0 right now. They are 5-0, one of only 3 undefeated teams left in the NBA. The other 2, Oklahoma City and San Antonio, who sit 1-2 in the Western Conference. Golden State at 3, Portland at 4, Lakers 5, Clippers 6, and then Denver, Memphis, Houston, and Utah. And, of course, it is the early season. Like, none of this is like, okay, look at that. You know, you're not going to jump out and go, okay, we're here, we're back. You're not going to be a team like, Denver, who's now in 7th, going, okay, this guy's falling, because it's not. Played a close game. Right now you got 3 teams, though, in the NBA who are 0 for. Indiana 0-5, Brooklyn 0-5, and New Orleans 0-5. And the Pacers desperately missing Tyrese Halliburton. This is the fifth quarter. Chris Burkhardt here with you. If you want to join the conversation, 503-248-0620 is the telephone number. Of course, you can go to youtube.com, type in Rip City Radio, and join the chat there as well, where Dennis says, wow, a different team that plays hard. Yeah, I like that. Sean chimes in, so sad that about Thibault. Yes, for those of you who missed it, maybe were wondering where Matisse Thybulle was. Well, he injured his thumb against Utah. He only played 5 minutes in that game, but then he got an MRI that revealed a torn UCL in his left thumb. He had surgery in Los Angeles this morning, and he will be out for 4 to 6 weeks. So get used to having a healthy dose of Chris Murray moving forward, which, again, he played well tonight. I'll take that all year long. If you want to play like that and be smart with your minutes, absolutely. I think that's a good thing. Also, shout out to my college football degenerates. Alex, hope the housewarming was fun. It's always fun when friends move, get a house, and get to have the housewarming party. I missed the nachos. I don't know if there were nachos. I'm just assuming there were nachos because there was a sports ball on the TV. Nachos sounds good. Probably lots of candy. Don't know how many trick-or-treaters you got. I've seen the way you live. You don't have to decorate. It just looks like a haunted house all the time. But anyway, shout out. Happy housewarming. All right, let's head out to the phone lines. First off, let's head to Portland. That's where we are, guys, where Drew is waiting to join the fifth quarter. Drew, welcome into the fifth quarter.
Hey, what's going on? Happy Halloween to you.
Well, happy Halloween to you.
Wonderful. Yeah, man, the only thing that's spooky tonight is for the Nuggets, right? Man, they're going to be a little spooked out after that one. Hey, I just wanted to talk about 3 defensive stops at the end of the game.
Mm-hmm.
And they were solid, 2 blocks and wrapping up Jokic. And then the next thing I just wanted to say was, what's up with that lineup we played in the fourth quarter? Because it was great. Like we were watching the game. We were like, if we lose this game, we're going to talk about this lineup that he's running, right? Because this is not your normal lineup. But, I just love it when a coach keeps a winning lineup in. They're doing good. And they just, call the game, coach the game the way it should be coached. And it was just awesome. Just a great win.
Yeah, it absolutely was, Drew. And, the late lineups, you're right, they were different. Cause I wrote it on my note because, you needed points, but you also needed stops. And, I thought it was interesting. You go in late, and obviously Robert Williams, you got a little bit of a minutes restriction. And Donovan Clingan, you got to be careful just because Nikola Jokic is so good. But you're going out there, and I look, and I'm like, okay, so Drew Holiday, Jeremy Grant, Chris Murray, Tumani Kamara, and Denny Avdia. It's like Chris Murray getting a little bit of those closer minutes with 4 minutes left to go because they needed defensive stops. They mix it up, get Shea back in there when they need some offense, and then shout out to Shea because he comes out and makes a great defensive play against Aaron Gordon at the end of the not the end of the game, but there before Jeremy Grant got a chance to hit the free throw. So it's just all around, man. You're right. The lineup was quirky, but I do like the Thiago Splitter was just like, hey, this is what we need to do. We're going to put these guys in and trust them, and that they got the win, man.
Yeah, it's beautiful. It's been a long time since we've seen Blazers play such great defense, and go Blazers, 4-2. Love it.
Absolutely, Drew. Thank you for the call, and let's head out to my man Sam. Sam, welcome in. Are you still as excited as you were when I saw you in the arena?
I am just as excited. So is my dad. Thanks for having me on. I'm very, very happy with the ball movement. My dad, we started watching the Blazers in 2018 when I was in 4th grade, and we always complained, my dad, my grandpa, and I, about the ball movement. And today, I'm really glad. The ball movement was excellent for the most part. That drive and kick around the horn, that was excellent.
Yeah,
I'm impressed.
It was very, very nice to see. I noticed that too. There was a couple times. Granted, there was a couple times where the ball movement was almost a little too much, and they got like the 24-second shot clock violation. But I'm not going to really complain about too much ball movement because we've seen plenty of Blazer teams that had no ball movement, right? But you, my friend, you were so excited. It was very cool to see you. I know your dad shot me an email. He was going to be here, and I was like, hey, you know where to find me. And it was funny because I was going to move around Media Row, and I happened to see you as I was walking away. And you told me you guys got last-second tickets because they were a deal, and you were down there. You guys, I mean, you could have spit on the court. I'm glad you didn't, but that's how close you were sitting. And so you see Nikola Jokic right in front of you going for a game-tying shot. I mean, you could have reached out and touched him, but what was going through your mind?
You know, I've watched a few I've gotten the opportunity to see a few really great players close up, most notably Victor Wembanyama and Kawhi Leonard, and watching them is a whole other experience than watching the highlights. And I think it was the same experience with Jokic. I mean, on the television, he's something else, but in the game, watching his facial expressions, his communication, it's surreal. I mean, it's something that I aspire to do, in my water polo games, is, pull out the plays like he does, because he is really a floor general. His passing, just his ball knowledge is something else.
Yeah, it really is. It's crazy because the thing that was so interesting about him tonight was, but he gets those rebounds, and he just turns so quickly looking to get the ball up the court. And I was at some point, I'm like, okay, someone needs to get back because Christian Braun's getting back and getting easy layups because no one is getting there. And Jokic is just so good at making those plays. Again, when the Blazers do what they need to do and get the win, it's a pretty good night, especially when he goes out and almost has a triple-double.
Yeah, I think that Jokic, this last lineup that the last guest Drew mentioned, where it was kind of a small ball because, but honestly, everyone's like 6 to like 6'9". I think it worked a lot better than having a center, depending on a center, to do one-on-one defense, because Jokic is not a one-on-one kind of defense person. You can't stop him that way. You stop him with collapsing, the zone, movement, communication, and that takes experience and speed. And I think that this lineup has that.
Yeah, he did. Now, Sam, you and Pops, you guys. This is a random question, but trust me, it makes sense. You ever get down to Disneyland?
Yes. Sister did.
Yes, we were just there in the summer. I was there with my dad. It was awesome.
Okay, you were? Okay, so your sister was, but you weren't, Sam?
No, I was at a water polo tournament.
Okay, well, that's fair, man. Athletics are important, but your sister was down there. Is your sister a Star Wars fan? Because apparently, I'm thinking it might run in the family. Dad was wearing the Stormtrooper shirt. You were Darth Blazer for Halloween. I was just wondering if you guys been down to ride Rise of the Resistance, because that ride is phenomenal.
Yes, it was so cool. We went on it.
I love it.
Like a million times. We saw the band playing, and they were playing like Star Wars songs, like the band, like the
Disney
marching band. Yeah, it was so cool.
Oh my gosh,
awesome.
I love that. It's funny. So we went there a couple years ago, and my daughter, who just turned 10, I think she had just turned 8 at the time. I had her convinced that when you ride Rise of the Resistance and you're in the little plane that leaves the planet, that we actually left Disneyland. She thought we really went to space and came back, and it was phenomenal. And so, like, there's planes flying over Disneyland. I'm like, look up there, see that? That's one of the shuttles that just left the ride. She's like, oh, we were all the way up there. I'm like, yeah, we were, and I totally had her convinced. But yeah, Rise of the Resistance, Star Wars Land, it's all amazing. I love Disneyland, and I need to get back. But Sam, I'm so glad that you showed up, came and found me, said hi. So glad you called in, and like I told your dad, we're gonna work out the schedule. We're gonna get you in the studio. I'm gonna get you on Courtside Monday one of these days.
Awesome, that would be so cool.
I'll let you school me.
Chris, I appreciate you.
I'll let you school me about water polo, okay? Because I like swimming, but I don't think I can swim and play water soccer at the same time.
Oh. I'm mending a shoulder injury right now, so you might be able to get me.
All right, well, we'll see. All right, hey, Sam, thank you, as always, for the call, man. It's always fun to run into you and keep it up. And, hey, can we work on scheduling a family vacation, get Sam down there when there's not water polo going on? My man needs to get on Rise of the Resistance. I'm glad his sister had fun, though. You hear that? You hear how quickly she jumped in? I went! Yeah. You know what? Never lose that childlike fun for Disney, because I Love Disneyland. All right, this is the fifth quarter on your home of the Blazers, River City Radio 620. We're going to take a quick break, but before we do, it is time for your shot of the night.
Live from the Coors Light Studios, Coors Light, mountain cold refreshment. Choose chill. Time for the fifth quarter shot of the night on your home of the Portland Trailblazers, 620 Rip City Radio.
Obvia near side. Looks for Holiday underneath. Holiday backs it out. Gets to the corner, 12 seconds to shoot. Gordon follows him out there. Steps back, contested three. Buries it! Blazers lead 99-98.
Hey, what's going on, Portland? Chad doing here with my good friend Colin Amos from the law offices of Goldberg Jones Divorce for Men. Call 1-800-DIVORCE. You can speak to Colin for a no-cost consultation. He'll answer any of your questions. And Colin, for dads who want primary custody, how do they get that done?
Fathers are very involved. Fathers are getting custody, which is great because, our focus is representing men. So it's nice the courts are listening far more because men are more involved in the day-to-day care. So primary custody, a lot of people say, well, women always get custody. Well, historically, women have stayed home, haven't worked, stayed home with the kids, been the primary care parent. That has changed. So the more you're involved in the day-to-day care, driving them around, getting them to school, help get them to the doctor's appointment.
Turn the ads off. Sorry. Hey, Sean, that's a good question. I'll address it when we come back. I don't know yet, but there's going to be a chance he does, absolutely. But I'll be right back. Got to talk to the producer here. That was a big game for your Portland Trailblazers. Quite honestly, a huge win for Tiago Splitter. So let's head down to the press conference room, hear what he had to say following this 109-107 victory over the Denver Nuggets.
There was guys with minutes restrictions, guys out, guys playing the first game. A lot of stuff that, you had before the game and during the game, and I think just they're resilient to go over all of those things and, and then be ready to the adjustments that we did in the game. I think that was awesome. The guys were ready, prepared, and, and just brought their A game.
What particularly Tumani's game time, particularly defensively, gets the block, ties Jokic up. What do you think about the way Tumani came out tonight?
Awesome. I think Tumani was big time, but Drew again. Chris Murray was big time from the bench. Just making plays, guarding people. It was like a team effort thing.
You started guarding the two-man game with Drew and JG. What did you think about how they were able to handle Murray and Jokic, kind of, particularly in crunch time? That action?
Yeah, that's what we did. We did other games the same thing, just try to, change the matchups and not give them the same diet the whole game. This time it works. Sometimes you just throw things at the wall and see if it sticks, but today it sticks.
Do you know what happened with Blake?
We don't know yet. We still got to do tests and all that. I don't know what happened. Something on his twinked ankle or something. I don't know. I'm not sure.
Did it feel more like a chess match at times between you and Adelman? You guys switching in and out of zones and deciding how you wanted to cover Jokic?
Yeah, I guess every game is like that, right? You try to bring your adjustments, and they try to slow down the game with the zone, which is, guys can do that. But I think we find a way with our speed to beat the zone sometimes when they were not even set. And, I think we could shoot better the ball still, like 28% for three. So we got room for improvement. I feel like our first quarter was kind of slow. The time thing didn't help, the scoreboard. So it was kind of like a weird beginning of the game, to be honest.
Have you ever seen a delay that long for something like that?
Not really.
How would you evaluate the way Rob played tonight, and just can you elaborate on what he brings to the team with his return?
Yeah, I mean, Rob, we all know his ability to protect the rim and catch lobs. I think he gives us a different dynamic on offense and defense. He's not there like 100% in game shape yet. We got to play at him, through these next games and see where he at and slowly increase his minutes, and then we have more options to use in the games.
Do you guys feel like you're on breaking through at this point? Does it feel like this win feels significant in what you've accomplished thus far in the season, or is it too early to put any significance to momentum or anything like that?
Of course, it's a good momentum, but you cannot take this, and the NBA is hard, man. It's next game and next and next. You got to go game by game and see who you have available and who they have available and just go.
Felt like Blake during the early part of the game was kind of like the spark plug, playing a lot faster than the rest of the guys. If he ends up going down, who is that player that's playing faster than everyone else?
That's a great point. He's been doing that for us lately. Everybody got to step up. I don't know, everybody got to step up. We might have to bring two ways. I don't know. But it's going to be, again, a team thing.
It was a little bit struggle at the end of third quarter. The team went scoreless for like 3-4 minutes. What's your way to put everything back to track?
Just being patient. I think we're trying to get the best shots we can. Playing fast, and I've been saying this, but it's going to get repetitive. But it's the speed will give us open shots. Touch the paint, kick out. Touch the paint, kick out. And in the end of the day, you got to make shots, and it's part of this game. And I think our guys today made some big shots at the last quarter, the fourth quarter, and we were able to stay in the game. We got a good stops there, and it was a super tough game for sure.
And there you hear from head coach Tiago Splitter. And yeah, that was a tough game, and he was talking about Blake Wesley. Blake had a really good play where he put the ball on the floor, ran through about the free throw line, jumped up in the air, hit a beautiful shot, and then kind of just came down awkward on his foot, stayed down. He was grabbing it. At first kind of looked like his shoe came off, and he was trying to put his shoe back on, but it may have been ankle. He ended up leaving. The PR team called it a foot injury. Don't know what that is yet, but he'll definitely be missed if he has to miss any time because he's been great defensively, especially in that backup position. Sean asks, with the remix starting soon, does Young Hansen get sent down? Maybe we see some City Sissoko. And here's the deal. I think there's absolutely a possibility he does. I don't know if it's going to happen just yet because I think you want him on the roster just if something happens to Rob or Rob's on the minutes restriction and you need bigs. If, hey, Rob can only play 10 minutes tonight and Donovan's in foul trouble and Robert's at his 10 minutes, we got to put Young in because we need a big. But obviously you got minutes from Dwaparith tonight. So, yeah, I think there's a good chance he gets down. I do know that the team wants to have him get minutes and be with the team as much as possible. You got to think that even if he's not getting minutes in game, Sean, it is valuable to be practicing up here where you're practicing with Robert Williams and you're practicing with Donovan Clingan. You're practicing against big NBA bodies. That is valuable. And then maybe go get some runs down there just for conditioning purposes. And I'll tell you what, if he goes down there where a ticket's cheap, you might be playing in a sold-out child center, which would be pretty awesome. I'd want to be there for that. He also asked Sean, what is the way too early grade on Tiago? Hard to put it on it. I mean, if you would have asked me what I thought of Tiago Splitter as a coach before any of this stuff went down, I'm not even BSing. If you guys have watched, you know this about me. I would have given him an A. Like, I really, really like Tiago Splitter. I think so far he's passing. He's passing. The midterms are here. Teacher hasn't put an actual grade on it, but, passing. Right now in a great spot. I like the fact that he's making some really good adjustments to that lineup, being smart with his substitutions. I said this earlier, I don't necessarily like the coach who always does, okay, well, this guy comes in at 4 minutes, this guy comes in at 5 minutes, and then just sticks to their rotation no matter what. Tiago has continued to kind of tinker with it and play who needs to be played and watch what the other team is doing. I like that a lot. You got in the Utah game where it's 3-point game, he fouled, and he was asked about that in the pregame, and his answer was, it's what I did in Paris. It's just the math checks out. It makes sense. They're up 3, foul. I have a foul to give or whatever. Foul them and then waste some time, and then I don't have a foul to give. Foul them anyway and send them to the line for 2 points. The math is there. So I like that approach. May be boring, but it makes sense. So, yeah, I like Tiago. I like him a lot. What his future is with the Blazers. I mean, there's a lot of uncertainty there as the legal process plays out with Chauncey and everything else. But I love Tiago. I love Tiago. Glad when the Blazers hired him, and I'm glad that he's here as their head coach right now, acting as head coach until everything gets cleared up. Oh, he was great though. He was great. Everyone was great. Blake was great till he got hurt. Unfortunate that Matisse was out. Robert Williams is back. I mean, Tiago was great. Denny was great. All that stuff. But even when everyone's great, there can only be one. It is time to hand out our game ball. All right, controversial here because I'm not looking at the box score, but my game ball goes to Robert Williams, just because it was so nice to see him back. It was so nice to see Robert Williams back. If I'm handing out an actual game ball, though, I'm giving it to Drew Holiday. 19 points, 11 points, 13 assists. Yeah, move the ball. I love that. But it was just so nice to see Robert Williams back, quite honestly. I tweeted this, and I don't even mean it as shade, but he plays with the aggressiveness above the rim that I want to see from Donovan Clingan, and we don't see it enough from DC. And tonight, Robert Williams, he gets a nice spot where he gets to turn around and run to the rim. As soon as he gets the ball, they pass it to him. He's going around the pick. He gets the ball. As soon as he gets the ball, it's step to the rim, and he gets the layup, or he gets the alley-oop from Drew Holiday. Another one where I'm like, oh, I love that. just because it's just so nice to have that guy. I want to see more of that out of Donovan Clingan. I don't understand why he struggles to play like a big man when he is, quite honestly, every single time he steps on the floor, one of the biggest guys on the floor. There was too many times tonight from DC where he'd get the rebound or he'd try to go up, and when he tried to go up, he'd kind of bring the ball down with him, just jump up, throw it down. Think Shaquille O'Neal. When he had the ball down in the paint, you knew that there was only one thing that was going to happen. Backboards were going to be broken. Glass was going to be shattered. And you knew it. You absolutely knew it. All right, I think that is going to do it for the fifth quarter tonight. Blazers return home and take care of business. Grab a 109-107 victory over the Denver Nuggets. Taking a quick look ahead at what the schedule looks like. The Trailblazers will be back in action on Monday against the Los Angeles Lakers. Tip-off set for 7 o'clock, which means I'll have game day for you at 5 o'clock. Looks like Luka Doncic is a go. LeBron James might be back, so it might be a little bit of a different Laker team than the team you got a victory against on this last road trip. And also keep in mind, go to bed early tomorrow night. Clocks fall back. Get that extra hour, baby. I know I need it. Once again, Blazers grab a 109-107 victory over the Denver Nuggets. This has been the fifth quarter. Great work out there, Mike Oakes. Rip City, you've been awesome as always. Sam, thanks for saying hi. Everyone who called in and chatted on YouTube, you know what to do. Get back to it on Monday. Rip City, I'll talk to you on the next one.